Aloha. I'm back. I just made a video about becoming wholly you and the archetypes and how to redefine the elements, and it kind of went into all these different tips on how to be more whole and relate to the entire zodiac as opposed to just one of the signs. This video is more just for the tarot peeps and those who kind of already have an understanding of tarot and what the minor arcanum even means, because the minor arcanum is in the title of this video. There's the major and the minor arcanum, the major secrets and the minor secrets. The minor are an elaboration of the major, and they are deeply involved with the elements. That's why they're divided into 4 suits, 4 elements. You have the pentacles, the swords, the cups, and the wands, or rods. And those are the 4 elements. I want to just clarify for those of you using tarot and maybe haven't made this connection before. Each of the suits tells a story from beginning to end as far as healing within that element. So for example, if you are healing matters of the heart, relationship, connection, joy, emotional mastery, emotional awareness, then you want to look to the suit of cups, of course. And starting with the ace, we then move to the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we move to the horseman or the knight, then the queen, and then the king. Sorry, we also have the page, then the knight, and then the queen, and then the king, right? So you have this progression from the ace all the way to the king. So the aces are the initiation, the starting point within that suit. The ace is reminding you of the raw power of that element of the suit and how it is inside of you, that you are connected to this raw power and the unlimited power within that element. So because we're focusing on cups, it would be the raw power of the water element. And that initiation, that ace, reminds you of this great power and that you have everything you need on your journey ahead of emotional or watery healing. And so then you move through each of the cards and it tells you a progression, tells you, what the next step is in the healing of whatever suit you're in. And then eventually you make it all the way up to the king. And the king is when you've mastered that suit. The king, I'm going to give you a secret for those of you who are already familiar with tarot, because this will all sound like mumbo jumbo if you're listening and have no idea, about the tarot. The king of the suit, so let's say you're focused on the cups and water and healing the heart and the emotions, you want to, even at the beginning when you're at the ace, you want to keep the king in mind. He's your goal. You're going for the crown. You're going for the mastery, the self-mastery within that suit, within the suit of cups, right? So you want to acknowledge, I'm showing you how to use tarot as more than just a tool for divination and pulling a couple of cards, okay? I'm saying look at it as a story, a psychological tool and technology for your spiritual advancement. So you're starting at the ace, but you want to really remember that you're headed for the king. Okay, this is like everybody knows that you have to have your inspiration, your goal, your vision, your whys. Because if you have your why, then you know where you're headed, you have a trajectory, and you're going to manifest what you keep your mind on, eye on the prize, right? So if you're starting at ace, you think of the king, you know that's where you're headed, to that mastery. But to get there, you have to move through the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 is when you're coming toward the ending. The 10 is the ending and the new beginning, right? So knowing that I have my eye on the prize being that king, I've got my eye on that crown of mastery within this element, what would the king do? Like, if I were to make it to that king, right? Because you want to envision your future. Okay, here I am, I'm the king of cups. What does it look like? What does it feel like to be that king? Let's do that now while we're still at the beginning, at the ace, so that we can connect the raw power of that element to this future vision of fulfillment within that suit. We can immediately connect the two right at the very beginning. So I'm going to think of the king of cups and what would that feel like to reach there? Because that's what's going to help me manifest that position on the throne, right? So I think of the king. This is my tip for you guys. The king always holds a vision of the 10. There are 10 watchers right now live. of the 10, the card that is number 10 within that suit. Why? Because 10 is the completion, the ending and the new beginning within a cycle of that particular element. So I'm at the ace, I'm only at the beginning, but I'm jumping ahead to the king so that I can have my eye on the prize. And to do that, I have to feel what it would feel like to be the king. And so I'm going to then jump to the 10. So these are the first 3 cards you want to look at within any suit. The ace, which is the raw power, the end goal, which is the king, and then the 10, which is the fulfillment of that suit. So you want to kind of get an idea of how to start by going to those 3 cards, and then you can begin to move back to the ace, to the 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? So the King of Cups, for example, if I'm at the ace ready to begin, but I put myself into the future of that king and I say, okay, I'm the King of Cups and I'm holding a vision of fulfillment for the suit, because that's how I obviously got here, by fulfilling the lesson within the suit. 10. The 10 of Cups, as you guys know, because you're all tarot lovers if you're watching this video, the 10 of Cups looks like the happy couple with the happy children dancing around, and there's a big rainbow and there's 10 cups, and it's like, yay, fulfillment in the suit of cups, the heart. It's like, ooh, I'm joyful, completion. I've completed this lesson within this element of water and the heart. The king holds that vision because he needs to have that fulfillment in order to be the king. Kings are trusted with that crown because they're masters of that suit, of that element. How could you be a king? And I'm saying women and men because we have these archetypes within us. How can you possibly be that king, that master of that element, or that part of yourself? How can you master that part of yourself if you don't hold a vision of fulfillment, the 10? How can you be that master of that aspect of yourself or that element if you don't really firmly believe and hold a vision of the prosperity within that element? Again, for the King of Wands, he would hold on to an image and a feeling of the completion within the suit of Wands, which would be the 10, the ending and beginning. The 10 of Wands is also known as the Lord of Oppression. It's a man carrying the bundle of wands on his back, and it's heavy. It's a heavy burden. And hidden within this image is its opposite, putting that burden down. So the King of Wands would have his goal set on this vision of the 10 of Wands, ready to set down the heavy burden on his spirit, weighing his soul down so that he could fly free. The King of Swords, that we can only be that master within that element, mastering that part of ourselves when we hold firmly that vision of the 10 of Swords, the completion. It's got a man dead on the ground with 10 swords in his back, and it's symbolic, of course, and it's showing the ending of a thought program, something that's creating conflict in your reality once and for all. It's completely killing that thought program, eradicating it from your awareness, from your mental programming. So, of course, the king is going to maintain a vision of the 10 because he's like, yo, I have my eye on that prize, completion. Then you have the King of Pentacles. He's sitting on his throne with beautiful abundance of green and fruits and vegetables and plants, and it's just a vision of abundance and prosperity. How do you think he made it to that throne? How did he make it to that level of mastery within the suit of Pentacles? How do I wear that crown? How do I master my material reality, using my realizations and turning them into gold to help this reality, this material reality, prosper? I, as the King of Pentacles, would have maintained a vision of the 10 of Pentacles, which represents the completion of that suit. The 10 of Pentacles looks like a happy family. There's husband and wife, kid, dogs, even a grandpa in there. And it's just this vision, again, of prosperity and abundance for one and all. And that card represents reaching that level of prosperity, not just for yourself, but for everyone. Manifesting that happiness, that joy, that health, and that prosperity for yourself and for your whole family, your loved ones, your tribe, your community, and hopefully all the way out to the world. So you can see how the king in each of the suits maintains a vision of the 10. The 10 is the goal, the completion. It's what he has his eye on. Okay, so then you get to, let's take, for example, the suit of cups, right? We start at ace. We're reminded of the raw power of water within us. Then we go to the Two of Cups, and it shows a man and a woman with cups. And what this is showing is growth through relationships, revelation through relation. Okay. Then you move to the Three of Cups, and it's the three people dancing, and it's showing like taking action upon these new revelations and using it for the betterment of not only your own reality, but the reality of those around you, teaming up even with others who are also calling in that experience and magnifying the potential of bringing through those newfound revelations into your experience. Then the Four of Cups, weighing your new opportunities, seeing what you've done so far, seeing how you can do more, how you can integrate more, and then so on and so forth, and you keep going. Then you make it to the Page, and you have, pages are earth, right? So let's say you have the Page of Cups, that's the earth of water. You have an embodiment or a grounding in of that water, a grounding in of the emotion, or receiving a message of how to work with that emotion in the material reality. And then you have the Knight, and that's running with that idea and taking action upon it. Straight to the Queen, the heart of the matter. And when you get there to the center, the heart, the Queen, then you can truly rise up to the crown and know how to fully execute the plan as it serves the heart. So that's just a little way to maybe offer you some new perspective on the minor arcanum of the tarot if you're already into the tarot. So thank you for watching. And for those of you who watched this and have no idea what the heck I'm talking about because you've never used tarot before, I hope this was at least entertaining and enlightening in one way or another. Feel free to check out the video I made just a few minutes ago. That one's all about becoming wholly you and understanding that you're not just one of the archetypes, but you're all of the characters, fully free to express any of their wisdom in any moment, according to what you're going through. Also, just whoever's watching this video, my book is now released. It's called The Royal Path, Activating the Archetypal Alliance Within. If you want to learn more about using the tarot as a story to access an archetypal alliance that lives within inside of yourself, then that's the book for you. It's understanding the tarot from a perspective that is not just cards and divination, but it's a story. And it's a story that lives inside of your heart. So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll be happy to ship you a copy of my book. Also, for those of you just tuning in, feel free to check out youtube.com/RebeccaMagick and hit subscribe so you get notifications. That way you won't miss out on the free activations I do every single week. It's been about 3 years now that I've been doing them, and it's a lot of fun. And they go according to the moon cycle, so it really has nothing to do with the moon, these activations, but the moon is a time measure, and so it's the easiest way for us to meet at 4 quarters within every lunar cycle. And we just ask the archetypes for some guidance. They help us to get rid of extraneous thoughts, focus on what's real, what's important, so that we can move forward with grace and ease and without unnecessary crisis. So feel free to tune in for those. You guys, those activations are so cool. I mean, literally thousands of people see each of these activations, and together, when we really receive the message, that's super powerful, that so many of us are together receiving that message, and then hopefully most of us are doing something with that wisdom that's received in the activation. So it's super powerful. I hope you join me in the activation portal. Join in anytime. It's every single week. Just look to the moon, depending on where we're at. New moon, first quarter, full moon, final quarter. There's always an activation. I never miss out, so look for it, okay? youtube.com/RebeccaMagick. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tarot lesson, and keep your eye out for my next project. I'm going to be releasing a video series going through the entire major arcanum and all of the esoteric symbolism within it. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.